Something I have said over the course of this entire show is quarterback is the most overvalued position because you often overpay one, underpay all of the people around, and then you don't have a lot of success. So, greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast, the global authority on coaching leadership, where coaching wisdom meets real talk. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and on today's Top Shelf Tuesday edition, I get to be Stephen A. I get to be Jason Whitlock, and I get to go solo, and I can't wait for this. So, we're going to analyze the return on investment of NFL free agency in segment one. Segment two, we're going to talk about the wild week one experiment with the NFL. And in segment three, this ought to be fun. We are going to talk about ice versus ice. I get to share my love of the Iceman, George Gervin, compared to a young fella who, I'm sure he means well. So let me go ahead and get started. So we want to analyze the return of investment of NFL free agency. So let me talk a little bit about the success rate. There was a deep dive study done of the 500 top free agents from 2013 to 2022, and it reveals a success rate of only 41%. So the average performance grade is a 2.26 out of 6, meaning most of the teams that win the press conference don't win the games. So let's talk about the positions. So skill position, running back, quarterback, wide receiver, shockingly, consistently underperform. Something I have said over the course of this entire show is quarterback is the most overvalued position because you often overpay one, underpay all of the people around, and then you don't have a lot of success. So running backs are the riskiest with a success rate of just 10%. So you're going to hear about the outliers like Saquon, but most of the running backs tend not to work. Lower risk positions like safety, defensive tackle, and interior offensive lineman provide the best return on investment. So when you hear about a safety getting picked, that's probably a good pick. A defensive tackle, that's probably a good pick, or an interior offensive lineman. And finally, age matters. So if you sign somebody 24 to 27, they still got a little juice left. And if you sign somebody over that, again, you're going to give me the Tom Brady outliner. So let's talk about some hits and misses. So a spectacular hit, Trent Williams for the 49ers. He exceeded even a record-breaking contract. So congratulations, Trent. An excellent pick was Tom Brady going to the Bucs. You got a Super Bowl and you got MVP caliber play. Absolute disasters. Kenny Galladay from the Giants, Nick Foles from the Jaguars. Man, did he steal some money. And good old Brock Osweiler when he went to the Texans. And I'm old enough to remember the Albert Haynesworth signing and Deion signing with the Commanders when they were the Redskins. So the question is, why do NFL GMs continue to overpay? Well, they do it because they listen to fans. And as we have learned in coaching, he who listens to the fans will be one of them. A lot of disaster grades for quarterbacks. The thing I like to talk about with quarterbacks is give me 10 through 15. Probably the quarterbacks 10 through 15 every year you'd probably take. 1 through 5, too much money, too much drama. 5 through 10 want to be paid like 1 through 5. But if you get a cat from 10 to 15, they're going to be good. And then you get yourself a nice rookie quarterback on that rookie, quarterback wage scale, and you got something. The other question is, do you build through the draft or through free agency? Good teams and organizations have a way of doing both. Get yourself some good high-level picks and then balance them out with some free agencies. And then in the late rounders, find some starters, and then you got yourself a little bit of a team. So that's my spiel on return of investment of NFL free agency. In segment 2, we're going to talk about the NFL's Week 1 experiment, and it has to do with playing on a Wednesday. I'll tell you about it when we get right back on the iCoaches Podcast.
Today's student athletes face pro-level challenges without pro-level support. The CKA SAVE project is here to change that. For 16 plus years, Dr. Keith Adams and his team have provided comprehensive academic and athletic support from middle school through post-graduation transitions. NIL guidance, transfer portal navigation, academic coaching, career planning, they've got it covered. The CKA SAVE project. When your future is on the line, experience matters. Learn more at www.ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the iCoaches Podcast in segment 2. NFL Wild Week 1 experiment. So let's tell you about it. So for only the second time in the 75-year history of the National Football League, the NFL season will begin on a Wednesday, September 9th. The defending champion, the Seattle Seahawks, will host someone to avoid a scheduling conflict with the league's international plans. What are those plans, you might add? Well, there's a Super Bowl rematch with the Patriots, possible for a Wednesday night game with Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes is not playing, so we don't know who Seattle's going to play. But we do know that the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams will face off in the Melbourne, Australia cricket grounds. And to accommodate the massive time difference, the game is going to kick off Friday morning in Australia, which translates to 8:35 p.m. on Thursday, September 10th for U.S. viewers. It's kind of crazy because they just had a wrestling pay-per-view from WWE in Australia. You also have the Friday blackout. So unlike the last two seasons, there will be no Friday game week 1. Due to the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961, the NFL can't broadcast on Fridays starting the second weekend of September to protect high school and college football. See, there is something still valid out there. The Australian game is being bundled into a new 5 to 6 game mini package for bidders rather than going the traditional network route like NBC or ESPN immediately. Now, I'm tapped out of ESPN Plus or whatever that is, so I won't watch WrestleMania or any pay-per-views because that $30 is like the tipping point for me. But for other people, it's not. So with the Seahawks playing on a Wednesday and the Rams playing on Thursday, these teams get an extra long week headed into week 2. Is that fair? Probably not. But the NFL doesn't care. Patrick Mahomes, if he isn't ready for week 1, will you have a star power matchup to anchor on Wednesday night? Cowboys, maybe. Bears, maybe. We'll see what happens with that. With the NFL going to Australia, that's a big travel burden for the regular fan and the players. It's a 15-hour plus flight to Melbourne, and we're doing it to justify the global growth. Again, player safety is primary. It should be. And that's just a lot of maneuvering. And the NFL has a system and a schedule like everyone else. How long will it take them to get back on schedule? And with the Australia game being a part of a new mini package of game, it's just a lot for the regular fan streaming. So, again, we wish the NFL well with this endeavor. They are taking over everything. WNBA is talking about playing within November, and that's probably not going to be the most viewed stuff. You also have the NBA trying to reclaim Christmas. So again, that's a lot going on. But when we get back in segment 3, we're going to talk about the Iceman cometh, the trademark battle for a legendary moniker. We'll be right back on the iCoaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond. And that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CK Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches podcast. In segment 3, we've got a problem. So, NFL star Caleb Williams, local to the DC area, filed 4 trademark applications for Iceman on March 16, 2026, following his breakout season. And this move caught NBA Hall of Famer George Gervin, who has used that nickname, the Iceman, for 40 years, possibly one of the greatest posters ever. So, Caleb Williams filed for Iceman, covering apparel, sporting goods, and digital assets. On March 20th, George Gervin Interests or Gervin Interests LLC filed for Iceman and Iceman 44 in response. You have legal prior use versus first to file. Williams' first file is trademark with before the Iceman did, and see, I even said the Iceman, George Gervin did. You also have other people using the Ice moniker. So when I heard about all of this, I went back to wrestling. Who is the real Nature Boy? Well, the original Nature Boy is Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. But Ric Flair in the 70s took on that persona, and you even had Nature Boy Buddy Landell along with the Black Nature Boy Scoot Andrews or something like that. But nobody talks about Buddy Rogers, and the Nature Boy Ric Flair is the Nature Boy everybody talks about. In boxing, there's a lot of sugars out there. You got Sugar Ray Robinson, you got Sugar Ray Leonard. Hagler won that fight, by the way. You got Sugar Shane Mosley. You got a lot of sugars out there. So hopefully, cooler heads can prevail, and maybe we can even get a commercial out of this. Okay? So with that, fans, this week is a huge, busy week for CK Save Project. We will be in Indianapolis, Indiana at the men's basketball Final Four. I'll be conducting research on student-athlete motivation. I'll be conducting research on student-athletes' thoughts of collective bargaining. And I'm also conducting research on coaching in today's climate. We'll be at a lot of events. Point 5 will be with me, serving as my executive assistant. For those new to the show, that's Keith Jr., and that's his nickname for the show. We'll be at the NABC Mentor Circle, talking about my relationship with my mentee, Coach FD. We will be at the Black Coaches Association function. We'll listen to a lot of different coaches. We'll be at the marketplace. We'll giving people our leave behind documents. So very excited and looking forward to it. So thank you on behalf of our crew who's not here. We ain't mad at them. Thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, the global authority on coaching leadership, where coaching wisdom meets real talk. Also seen on the Cascade Sports Network. And we will see you on the sidelines Until next time, take care.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches Podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Follow the Odd Coaches Podcast on the X platform at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Keith Adams and the CKA Save Project on social media at CKA Save Project. For more information about the CKA Save Project, visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.